Welcome to this week's random review for the Titans Return toy line, and almost the last one I'll be able to do for a while. I've almost run out of toys, and their next set doesn't come out till November. So I'm going to have to figure out something new for a little bit, or I'm going to have to start buying leaders, which my budget tells me no. However, we still have a few deluxes to look forward to, so let's go ahead and look at another one. This is Wolfwire, formerly Weird Wolf. Thank you very much, Trademark Office. We didn't need that name or anything. As you can see, he is very much the G1 Wolf Decepticon that was in the G1 series, but much sleeker, much more into the proportions you would expect out of an actual Weird Wolf. He does have quite a bit going on for him. Now, I've also gone ahead and placed his cannon on his back because it's one of those strange, unique plug-in ports that I would normally forget about. So I just went ahead and did it anyway. So now we have a little cleaner look at him. He has good lines all over. I like that even the arch to the back is represented in the proportions. Exceptionally nice. So yeah, cast in yellow and kind of this aqua blue shade of plastic. Very nice look. Very much to the G1 colors. I like the off-white too. Gives him this nice appearance. Especially in the head. Like, the off-white head was always like the highlight of the toy, I believe. So yeah, he's got a lot of different moldings going on to represent different shapes of fur and musculature. And it all kind of works in a really interesting robotic way. And yeah, the mouth does open and close, complete with soft red plastic teeth in there. They're just a little bit gummy to the touch, as if they're actually going to hurt or puncture anything. The mouth does open and close, and I prefer it open. I get kind of like a Cybertron snarl vibe from the translucent teeth. I kind of like that. So yeah, what else do we have going on? Well, there's a lot of inset plastic here in order to create various different looks, and then little bits of paint here and there to actually finish off the look. I'm surprised. Like, a lot of this does seem to be just like intricate sections of plastic going on, where all this blue seems to be one piece, the yellow seems to be another piece. A lot of work going in there to make sure the color is done with mostly plastic rather than paint. The paint itself can be found in little bits of off-white, detailing small bits all around him. Silver in the claws, which has kind of a dirty look to it, like he's been scraping and scratching on things, which means he either got a new scratching post or he actually does get into a fight or two. Either way, I kind of like that. You also get just a hit of red on the tail to round out the color scheme. The red does not come in much. A little bit on the back, though, because that's where the cockpit for the Titan Master is. So let's go ahead and get that open just so we can go ahead and get that out of the way. Now, I will be a little bit cautious because apparently this hinge here has had some QC issues on some people's copies of this toy. Now, on mine it seems fine, but apparently it's been cracking on some people, so I open it very carefully. So inside we have a cockpit seat and a couple pegs that hold the Titan Master in place. It's a little bit stiff to get out, but a little bit of force, not too bad. Really quick before we go into articulation there, let's take a look at the Titan Master himself, Monzo, which is the G1 name of the Titan Master, but now spelled with an X, because poor literacy is cool, I guess. Also because, once again, we couldn't get the name. I can understand Weird Wolf being gone because it's a play on werewolf. Who wanted the name Monzo? Like, I have no idea. But you can see he's a pretty plain Titan Master. Arms and legs are one color, and then the body is another. No paint or anything. And of course, he has an upside-down face sticking off of his back, but that's just the Titan Master thing. Ball-jointed arms, hips, and knees that are one single double hinge, and a ball joint on the neck. Pretty basic stuff for your Titan Masters. Okay, so what else can we do here as Weird Wolf? Well, you got an articulation level. I like that. So you have a ball joint in the neck, which allows him to rotate as well as look a little bit to the left and right. Not so much up and down, but left and right's the more important, I believe, in this case. And I do really like that they are remembering to let these animal modes be expressive. It gives you a lot more personality to it, which I really like. Ball joints in the shoulders, knees, because they're legs, I forget. Elbows and bicep rotation is all there. For the ankles, you have ball joints as well as a little bit of rotation there at the bottom. Oh, it's actually pinned in, so let's just go with a ball joint. How about that? But yeah, full rotation, full motion there. So you get plenty of articulation there. The back legs, unfortunately, are a little bit stiffer. You do have thighs, but these big chunks do take up some of the range. And you do have hinges back here, as well as ball joints in the ankles again. Unfortunately, the legs are actually extremely long because they have to be in proportion in robot mode as well. And that means either Wolfwire stands with his legs kind of splayed out like that, or like a really stretched out to the back, which looks awkward. Either way, it looks a little bit awkward, so that's a drawback to the toy. Another drawback, once again, I don't have any pegs for Titan Masters to hang on to. That seemed like such a Wave 1 thing that just evaporated in Wave 2, which is kind of unfortunate. And it's something that I would have really liked, because I think having like a rider, like just standing up on top of his head or back here, that would actually be really, really funny, and we don't get that. Luckily, we do have that big cannon, so that can at least act as a seat. So you can actually have another Titan Master riding along inside. You got plenty of places to mount it too across all of these different sections with the 5mm port. I actually kind of like that. That kind of solves my it's a big hollow gun thing, because this way I can just kind of flip it over and it doesn't look hollow anymore. Sounds hollow when it hits the floor though. Hang on. Right, so let's just robot mode this guy now, and if you're looking for a transformation that isn't just like straighten out beast mode arms and legs and call it a robot, I'm sorry, you're looking at the wrong toy. But don't worry, we got a little bit more for you than that. So let's go ahead and get him transformed out. Now, you got a lot of different swivels down here, so you need to make sure that these little ports down here go into the little tabs in order to make sure everything locks up nice and solid. I got it wrong on this side, so make sure that's flipped around, pegged in, and then reverse the ankle. That's how you do it. So with that out of the way, I'm going to straighten out the arms and flip back the beast mode head, and that's pretty much what everyone expected the toy to do. See, I can flip these over and get the beast paws to the back. Now there's little panels I have to flip up in order to get the hands out. Come on. Once again, bad time to clip my fingernails, even though I try to do it before most every review, unless I know I'm going to need them. There we go. Now we've got those flipped out. Hand out, rotate around, close panel, fold up. Everything works the way it's supposed to. There we go. And now you'll notice the robot mode a little bit wide in the torso. So let's take it down a peg. I'm going to have to open up the cockpit a little bit. That's going to reveal the slots these pieces are stuck in. So we're going to double hinge that up and collapse the midsection of the beast into the torso. Fold all that back down. I like that the ears have a place to go too. Fits more flush. And that gives us a much better silhouette for the robot mode. And finally, of course, flip the legs up and just slot in to form the actual head of Wolfwire in his full robot mode, where my camera angle is just a little bit too tall in order to get him. There we go. Once again, we are looking at a very G1 style figure. Very much encompasses what his original character design looked like. Of course, far less blocky than the original toy, but if you're looking for something closer to like the animation model, you got it. So let's do the usual thing and take a look at the head first. He's got kind of an interesting thing going on here where his eyes kind of wrap up into the helmet a little bit. It's kind of strange, but it's kind of unique. The one thing I don't like the red. I don't like how the red is just kind of blotted on there. I wish there was some other color, even if it wasn't accurate to the toy. Like I wish there was like some color to his face, so I could actually make out that he has a face. This is almost like the red is so bright and it's blotting out the details so much. I'm almost getting like a Cybertron sideways vibe from him, which is not good, but it's also kind of his thing, which is a little bit detrimental. So as we can see, a very lean wolf has given way to a pretty solid-looking robot. Not super bulky in any one way or so, but I do like the proportions here. He does have pretty much the standard, I would say, as far as like proportions and design style goes. The yellow and blue is still pretty much in equal balance here. You can see a lot more of those off-white paint apps and a little bit more silver on the thighs. But beyond that, not a whole lot new going on. The torso is at least completely new. We didn't get to see that in beast mode. And again, they've replicated some nice G1 details, like the big gray panel that would normally hold where his stats would be. And while the chest does actually open up, it's not going to reveal to you like what his tech specs are. No, and we're actually not sure what this is for. It does help you get this piece out if you're transforming back to beast mode, but for all I know, it's part of something else for like a future use of this mold. Hasbro's gone like so crazy with how they do remolds now. I would give them any credit for what that might be. Yeah, but for the most part, you got pretty standard in the robot mode. I do like some details here, and it's available in beast mode too, but those high shoulders with those gun batteries, that's a cool touch. That looks like he's a lot more heavily armed. And again, it's on the wolf mode too, but I like how it sits here in the robot mode. So not a whole lot really to talk about here, so let's go to the articulation level. Ball joint, of course, thanks to the Titan Master's head. It sits a little bit more flush to the body than most of the Titan Masters I've seen, so he doesn't have quite the same range, but the rotation's all there. A lot of the articulation carries over from the beast mode, so you have these shoulders, which in beast mode seemed fine. Here in robot mode, they don't quite go out as far as I would like, but the full rotation is there at least. Bicep rotation, all that works. 90 degree at the elbow, that works as well. No rotation at the wrist. You do have a waist rotation, but it's going to get blocked up by all these pieces here in the back. So you have to watch out for that on any of the poses you are attempting. Thighs do have a ball joint. The swivel is located just above the knee, so you have plenty of range going on there. Knee itself does have a decent bend to it, and then of course you have a ball joint in the ankles, which always helps in your posability. So he does have quite a bit going for him here. So what else? Let's see. Well, he does have weaponry. The sword, which he does have a couple pegs on the sides, so if you can find a spot to mount that you want it in particular, you can do that, but much better in his hand. I'll go ahead and make him a righty. I do really like that scimitar look. You know, it's a very Beast Wars thing, and G1 did it sometimes too, where the tail just became the weapon, but at the very least, the wolf tail, like the bushier nature of a wolf tail does kind of lend itself to being a sword a little bit more than, say, like Cheetor just pulling off his tail and using it as a whip. That's a little bit ineffective, I think. And then, of course, we do have his big cannon, and I love that this wolf has this gigantic hand cannon that he ends up using. So we're going to go ahead and put that in the left. I like that he's got this like really cool sword, but at the same time this massive gun. So it's like he's pretty much ready for anything that could be thrown at him, which makes him a pretty all-around fighter, I would say, and probably someone that's very much in tune to the Decepticon mindset of, well, just kill it and then we'll figure out if it should have been killed later on. Because he looks like that type now, doesn't he? So that, my friends, is Titan's Return Wolfwire. I have to keep mentally correcting myself on that one. He's not bad. He's got pretty much like right around the median range. There's nothing about him that like seriously thrills me, but he's not really doing anything wrong either. The articulation level's good. I like the two accessories. I think, again, this is probably one of the times where I really wanted to see some of those little posts for Titan Masters to ride on. But beyond that, he does a lot of good things. He does a few weird things like the rear legs in beast mode and such. And he does have one QC issue you have to watch out for. But all around, not a bad job of upgrading a fairly neglected G1 character.